You know what time it is. Love after lockup. Episode 40 for them. Episode 10 for us. And they said that it's the season finale. So I'm like, okay. Let's get into it. X's and O's. So they started off with Bianca and Daniel got out of jail. And I'm like, well, prison. I'm like, I love release days. Shout out to Daniel. So him and Bianca was like making out, like full blown, like make out in front of his parents, and I'm like, y'all could have did like a couple pecks and kept it moving. Like even I was just like a little bit too much. Like what is going on? But it was cute or whatever. And then they was like, so Daniel, now that you're free, what you want to do? Of course, he want to go get some food. So they on their way to go get something to eat. And then in the car, because he riding with Bianca, he feeling all on her and stuff. And she's talking about what if she get pregnant today? And I'm like, well, Shanta did. So, girl, it's a possibility. And she got twins. So, y'all better be using protection. But he was like, no, that's not going to be possible. And then he get on there and tell us that he only proposed to Bianca because 24 days after they start talking, he got put in a hole. So, he wanted to show her that he was serious about her. But now that he out, he like feel like she expecting him to like really marry her, and he not ready to be married, and she like rushing the timeline. So yeah, we gonna see how it goes. Then they went over to Troy and Zaria, whatever, and I was just like, where is the maturity in the room? Because like what? So they at the picnic and stuff like that, and Troy finally gets to see his daughter, little Troy. But it's spelled like with eyes and stuff. It's like super cute. Her name Troy. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cute. But anyways, so he see his daughter and he instantly get his daughter. They hugging and he like, oh my god, I missed you. I've been waiting 7 years to see her. And when he was like crying on there, telling us that one decision could take him away from his daughter, and his daughter don't deserve that. She deserved to have a dad, and he want to be there, and he all the stuff, y'all. And so the baby mama is just like in the background, kind of. And then like he take the little girl up to Zaria and like introduce her as his wife, and like tell her she don't have to call her mama but Mama Z or Miss Z, and build their own relationship with her. Don't let her mama get in the way. And I'm just like, why are y'all saying all this about her mama? Why her mama right there? Like, why don't y'all all just have a conversation? You know what I mean? So his mama go get the baby mama and they like walk off. You know what I mean? And she like, you're doing good. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? And then Zaria starts crying in front of the baby, talking about you look just like your dad, and I wanted to see you and stuff like that. And it's just like, they're bringing all this drama to the child's doorstep, and that's not that child's place. Y'all are putting the child in the middle of some BS that has nothing to do with her, but has everything to do with all of y'all and y'all egos. I need y'all to get it together. Because I'm sitting here like, why are they putting a kid in the middle of this? And then the baby mama get on there talking about she don't think that Zariah's cute, and she don't think that the relationship is going to last longer than 60 days. And if Whereee was a real woman, that she would want to speak to her if she wanted to be around her child, which I agree with that part. Because I'm like, where's the maturity? Like, what? Why are y'all putting the kid on y'all level? The whole thing just blew me. But I do love that Troy wants to be there for her. I do think his baby mama Slick got a point. But yeah, it's just a mess. So they come back with him and Joey is waiting for his ex to come and meet him at the park while he didn't drove off on Kim on their anniversary. Is it like a wedding party or something that they're planning? And she's sitting at home texting him, talking about it's today, it's not a month from now, so is he gonna come back? And it's like, why do you want to marry him? Like, what? And his ex stood him up, so he was mad, talking about she was the love of his life, but I guess she cheated on him. He didn't say that, but that's the gist that I got. And basically how he was gonna meet with her to tell her never to talk to him again. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then but he was mad that she didn't show up. She wasn't answering, she wasn't nothing. So he was like, she probably with her new man and her kids, and she can't leave, and she thought she was gonna be able to come out and cheat like she usually do, but I guess her man wouldn't let her. And I'm just like, he was mad while Kim sitting at home just waiting. And then he gonna say that he always is truthful to Kim, he never lies to her, and he surely won't ever cheat on her. And I'm like, okay, Joey, Okay. If y'all like it, we love it. Okay. Then they went over to Shanta and True. And True's taking Shanta to Pepper's house, and we get to see Pepper. And I'm like, okay. And it don't look like he messing around with Pepper. It looked like he just like renting a room out of her house. So I'm like, oh, okay. But then it's like, why did he not want to go to Shanta's? You know what I mean? And then the people keep asking him like how he gonna get money if he on house arrest and he can't go to the casino because that's what he said he was doing. And he was like he got other gigs. And I'm like, I hope you ain't on the TV doing illegal stuff. Like we can't see you. Like, come on, True. It's 2024. We see you. Like, I'm like, okay, I hope he like online sports gambling or something, cause and Shanta's so worried about keeping him out of jail that she not worried about him being in the kid's life. She more worried about him staying out of jail. And I'm like, huh? Like, wouldn't that be the main reason that you want him to stay out of jail is to be in the kid's life? So that's my main focus. Like, is you trying to be in these kids' lives or not? But yeah, and then they was like making out on the bed and stuff, and I'm like, Shanta, girl, like I know you pregnant, but like, girl, so I guess she fell for the like whole Pepper thing. But I'm like, he probably got a girl that he sneaked through. You know what I mean? Like, cause why he ain't parole out to your house? Yeah. So, but the Pepper girl was seeming like she was on his side, trying to tell Shanta that she don't like company and she barely want him there, so she don't do females and stuff like that. So, you know, but it's like they people before them. You know what I mean? So you can't really be trust what they be saying. And then he paying rent to be there. You know what I mean? He probably paying her to say whatever. But Shanta girl, she girl. They come back with Hope and Arthur, and Arthur's upset. Which the granddaddy pulled him to the side to ask him like, you wasn't in no gang, was you? And he was like, no, sir. And he was like, you know, he felt like with the family, he took the high road because they don't really know him. And they gonna be eating their words because they was judging him and that's not really who he is. And he gonna show them. And I'm like, okay, Arthur. And then they leaving and he was upset with Hope. He was like, you ain't even defend me or nothing. And she was like, well, they was asking you the questions and I couldn't talk for you, you know. They wanted to see what type of man you is. And he was like, I'm not like alpha man, you know what I mean? Like, you already know I'm not even like that, you know. And then she was like, you know, I'm sorry, I might have been hard on you, you know. And then they was talking about getting engaged and he was like, we're not engaged. She was like, oh, we not? And he was like, no, you're my girlfriend. I'm like, oh, how'd she get demoted to girlfriend? Because wasn't they engaged when he was in jail? But anyway, so she was like, okay, you know, are you about to propose to me right now? He was like, no. And then she was like, but he was like, they're gonna be together and he planning on marrying her and stuff like that. So she was like, okay, you know. And then I guess they was going home. I don't know where they was going. They was just walking off. Then they went over to Julian and Christine, and I hate to say that Julian was right. Why did Christine get on there at her stand-up comedy show and like start telling the crowd about how she went to jail? And then she had this one dude in the crowd like basically heckling her and asking for the check and telling her that stealing stuff wasn't right and like basically just, you know, messing with her. Then they flash over to Julian, and Julian was feeling bad, all in his feelings, talking about something. He was making it about him, and it wasn't even about him. And we like, yeah, it's not even about you. So he pop up, and I'm like, okay, look at the support. Like, okay, so he was supporting his girl. He was in the audience when the dude was like heckling, so he was like, my first thought was to like punch him in the face. I'm like, oh no, not Julian. And then, but Christine was up there. I'm like, where's the joke? Like, she didn't tell one joke. Like, I was sitting there like confused on what she was doing when the jokes were coming. But I also felt bad because her friends was trying to like encourage her to keep going, and Julian was like cheering for her in the audience and stuff. But the little heckler dude, he got to her, and she was just like, you know, this is just what you should expect from someone who done the things that I did. And she like ran off crying, and he was like, the dude in the crowd was basically making fun of the fact that she was crying, and she was just running off saying, you try to do stand-up comedy or something like that. Then they went in the bathroom, and she just sat on the toilet, and I'm like, is that toilet clean? Like, I don't sit on toilets, like public restroom. But, and then Julian tried to close the door on the cameraman, and you know the cameraman like, you know, they gotta get that footage. So the cameraman slid in the bathroom with them, you know. And she was just talking about how she was ready to go home, taking off her mics and stuff like that. And Julian was trying to comfort her. And in that moment, I was like, Julian was right. Dang. Like, Julian was right. Now he gotta pick her back up. And I hope this doesn't trigger her to use, because it was rough.